Seth Rollins has been stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship. Who will be the next champion? Will it be, as you see on the screen, CM Punk or main event Jey Uso? Did WWE get it wrong by Jey Uso winning the Battle Royal when you have the likes of Jimmy Uso that was in there, LA Knight was in there, AJ Styles was in there, and of course, well, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed was pulled from the match, which I think gave everyone this reaction. But still, we'd like to know your thoughts in the comments below right now. Like I say, who will be the next champ? Get involved with us right now. Myself and Nick Steve are in the house. We're going to have our take on everything Monday Night Raw here for you with the main event. Tell us what it means for Saturday night's main event in Salt Lake City. And of course, we want your questions as well. This is Q&A format. You can ask any question about anything to do with pro wrestling, and we will answer it to the best of our ability. But first and foremost, it is set. It is confirmed. Saturday night's main event, Salt Lake City, is going to be November the 1st. Jey Uso versus CM Punk, winning the vacated World Heavyweight Championship. Your thoughts, NX Steve?
I mean, I'm not against Jey winning. I think it's the right pick. I think that Jey is the right guy that can take a loss and not be affected by it in terms of progression. The last thing I want to see is LA Knight taking another loss and an opportunity for a title. Jey is the perfect person to take it. It's going to help develop Jey's character better. Punk is actually going to get a run with a title, which I think is the most shocking thing, because I don't think anyone was expecting that on their sort of 2025 Christmas wish list. So that'll be fun to see. And I think it's just going to be good as well if you're going to give people like Bron Breakker an opportunity to even go up against Punk for that title and see where that leads. If they eventually want to drop that title put it on Brock, and then Bron, names. It's too late. This is the third video of the night. My brain is fried by this point. And then obviously when Seth comes back, if Breakker is champion, there's obviously a story they can tell there. But yeah, Jey, 100% Jey is the right person to win it. And again, the way he won as well, with Jimmy saving him twice just for him to then eliminate Jimmy. Again, good story development that I'm sure will pay off in the long run.
Yeah, so for me, I've got a lot of plus points with CM Punk versus Jey Uso, but I have a few minus ones as well, and I'm not sure where quite I sit on the fence as of just yet, if I'm being brutally honest. So let's go with it. I'd like to start with the positives. First off, main event Jey Uso is back in the World Heavyweight Championship scene. I think it's quite cool to see because he's had a very up and down 2025. You can argue it started on the highest of highs, winning the Royal Rumble, winning the world title at WrestleMania. The run only lasted a few weeks before he would drop the title back to Gunther, and then seemed to fall from grace a little bit. But he's had this sort of like resurgence of his character since SummerSlam, obviously teaming with Roman Reigns. Jimmy Uso's come back into the scene as well. Stuff going on with the Vision. It's been Vision versus Bloodline for quite a while now, and I still feel that is going to be the direction for War Games when we get there in November for Survivor Series. However, James has had this sort of conflictedness with the character, almost being Roman-esque backstage, but it's not always getting the job done. He's been focused on helping others. He helped Roman at Clash in Paris. It cost himself a championship. He helped Jimmy Uso last week on Monday Night Raw. Cost himself a championship opportunity. This week, he wasn't going to let it happen. Obviously, like you mentioned, Jimmy Uso helped Jey in a battle royal, pulled him back in the ring, made sure he didn't get eliminated. But then when the opportunity was reversed, Jey Uso eliminated Jimmy Uso from the Battle Royal. That's great for storyline dynamic and what they're going to play out with those two further down the line. Adds further fuel will Jey Uso turn heel, which I think certainly could be in the grasp of something that could happen further down the line. Is Jey going to break away from the family again, but actually as a heel? Maybe he's the next person to try and take the Ulafala from the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Maybe he's that guy that's going to go for him next. It could be quite fun in that form of storytelling. On the other side of plus things, like you said there, could be looking like that with Jey Uso's current storytelling, he's not winning the titles. He's not winning these big matches. So it would do more for him to lose this and see what the fallout's going to be if he's going to go and be a heel. Therefore, CM Punk gets a run with the title. That's really, really good as well. On the negative side, I can't help but think to myself, though, I don't know if Jey Uso's the person I would have picked. Because like I said, first off, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are the people that took out Seth Rollins. What are they doing being pulled from the Battle Royal? It just seemed to be no logical explanation of why they were pulled from this. Now, obviously, they weren't planning to win it. Therefore, they were being protected, kayfabe and all that. But at the same time, a bit of me just feels like it would have kind of made sense for Punk versus Breakker. Why not push the guy to the level at this point? If he doesn't win the title, fair enough. Like, but he's going for a world title. I think it's a push in itself, and it's big enough. And I think the pushing this guy is going to main event many WrestleManias. So why not give him position to be in for one of them? He actually could win the world title here, and he goes towards WrestleMania. Maybe drops the title at like Elimination Chamber or at the Royal Rumble. Maybe when Seth returns, there is a big thing that goes on. Maybe Seth isn't a part of the vision anymore. We speculated last week that it's a full work. But at the same time, I look at people like LA Knight. I feel like the feud with LA Knight and Punk was really heating up. I would have liked to see where it had gone. I think LA Knight would have just been the guy I would have picked to win the Battle Royal. So my personal preference, I wanted Knight to win. I thought it was the right thing to do. AJ Styles has got a reward from John Cena. He's won the tag titles. I'd have liked to have one more crack at winning a world title and a match against CM Punk. Please sign me up. But still, we've got this match with Jey Uso, and I think there's still a lot of possibilities. So there is some pluses, there is some minuses. But at the same time, it's got people talking because WrestleMania felt like a foregone conclusion of the direction of where it was going. Seth Rollins was going to be winning the World Heavyweight Championship matches all the way until that point. Now, there's a very open road.
Yeah, even Survivor Series is a big question, and again, I said it before. We have no clue what they're doing. We have no idea what these teams are supposed to be. I imagine it was supposed to be Seth, Bron, and Bronson, and whoever else on one side. That completely throws that dynamic out. So they've now got to rebook Survivor Series within a month or so. So look, for anyone who's interested, we've just done a video where we get AI to book AJ Styles' retirement year, which by the way is great. But yeah, look, I wouldn't be surprised if they're jumping on AI now and just being like, yeah, who can we book for this match and why? And look, it makes it a bit more interesting, I think, because I didn't like the idea of what they were originally going to do. So for me, I think it's a win that we're getting something completely brand new. My CM Punk Seth Rollins main event night 2 match at WrestleMania just probably isn't going to happen now. So guess what my prediction for WrestleMania 43 is going to be now. But yeah, yeah, it's just a case of, look, I'm not against Jey winning. I think Jey's the right guy that can take a loss. I wouldn't have won, as much as I want to see Knight win that title, I wouldn't want him to see. I wouldn't want to see him lose another championship match unless he was going to win it. Unless, heaven forbid, you never know. They might have pulled the trigger and put the title on Knight. But the way to go is now is CM Punk. We are essentially on the road to WrestleMania, and they are thinking 6 months down the lines, and they have to go with that. So I imagine Punk is going to win. He's going to hold that title till at least Mania, until he faces maybe Bron Breakker, maybe someone else. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jey won this. I really wouldn't be surprised. And I think it would be a really cool moment because Jey could turn heel as champion. I think that'd be a really good, unique dynamic to do it because it's almost like the eating wasn't working for a while, and then he started doing things now Roman-esque, and it wouldn't be great to get the reward of doing things the Roman way. Therefore, it would give him an excuse to be more, dare I say, trouble chiefish, or how treating Jimmy, how he was being treated when he was with Roman. So yeah. I would like to see that dynamic play out. I would like to see Punk have a run with the world title, but my prediction is going to be slightly different. And then we're going to go to the comments. Literally, we're going to you in a couple of moments because my prediction is a bold one. I don't think we're getting a world champion at Saturday night's main event on Peacock. I think Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, along with Austin Theory, are going to make sure that we don't get a world champion. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brock Lesnar's involved in it as well, because we need to build for War Games. And I got a funny feeling that the team that's going to be opposing, now it could be 4-on-4, it could be 5-on-5. But if the vision side of things is Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and let's say they got Brock Lesnar as backup because Paul Heyman is involved here, and they're still pushing talks according to WrestleVotes that Theory could be in amongst this group. The other side, Bloodline side, can have Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and to call in CM Punk. So that's going to be my 4-on-4 prediction right now. So we still have Bloodline technically versus this new variation of the Vision.
I mean, you could ultimately probably swap out one of those for Knight, because obviously I think the idea would probably be whoever wins that match, the winners are going to have a fatal 4-way or something for that title. Don't get me wrong, Austin Theory in a Survivor Series War Games match probably means if his team wins, that guy's taking the pin for 100%. But I think if you have like Jey, Punk, Knight, Roman, that's 4 big names, fatal 4-way for an open championship. The only reason why I'm slightly against it is you've got an uncrowned champion, you've got a vacant championship, and it's your main championship, which is the one thing, which is why I reckon they won't do it, but we'll see.
Hear me out quickly. If you don't crown a champion at Saturday night's main event, it leaves an opportunity for Seth to win it back if this is a work or this is something with the vision, or ultimately something that you imagine would be very Riyadh, have the WWE Championship on the line in the Royal Rumble match itself. Yeah. And what is Sami Zayn won it?
Don't do it to me, man. Don't get my hopes up. Don't do it, because that's what I want. I just don't think it's going to happen. As much as I think that's a great idea. And yeah, look, Sami winning, look. I kind of want that now. You've kind of sold me on the idea. Forget everything else. Do screw finishes all you want. Put it on the line in the Rumble and have Sami win.
Absolutely.
But then who does Sami face at Mania?
I'm going to bring CDs coming up here. I loved it. Jey Uso.
Oh, great shout.
The history those two have. And say they both remain babyface and one of them turns heel at WrestleMania on the other one.
Oh, I don't know who I'd want more to turn heel, though. That's the problem, because I think if you delay the Jey heel turn till Mania, that would work better. Like, if it's honestly just the longest, most drawn-out heel turn you've ever seen, and delay it for that moment. In fact, almost give people false hope that it's not going to happen. So, like, Sami wins at the Rumble, whatever. They do a chamber match for a number 1 contender. Jey wins. They're all chummy, all pally, whatever, doing all the crazy like handshakes and whatever, and then have him turn main event of Mania or whatever at Mania. I think that'd be a lot better.
Certainly would be very interesting. I like the idea, CD. You think we're getting that WrestleMania? If it happens, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. This is your turn to take over the video, ladies and gentlemen. From this point onwards, to get involved, your questions could be about anything pro wrestling related. WWE, could be TNA. Throw in AEW if you want to. I'm going to pretty much tell you already. I've not seen the show yet. That's just took place, Wrestle Dream. Just not at the time to. Aiming to this week. But I'm aware of like 2 or 3. I'm aware of Darby Allin, basically, and John Moxley. I'm aware of that from the show, and that seems to be the biggest talking point coming out of it. So feel free to dive into that if you wish. Ray says, give the stream a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Please do, everyone, because it really supports the channel a long way as well. Helps more eyes on the prize as well. And this channel could do with a little bit more eyes on the prize right now. So any support is really appreciated. We've got here, CD says, James has been teasing a heel turn. He could be the new tribal chief for the Vision and Paul Heyman. Could you imagine Jey Uso being the new leader of the Vision?
No, I can't see it, just for the fact that Breaker's not going to take a back seat again to someone else. He's just done that for 3 or 4 months with Seth. Why would you bring in Jey for Jey to then be a tribal chief? Nah, it doesn't make sense for me. Braun is top guy now. Bronson is essentially his right-hand man that will take all the pinfalls for the time being until they bring in Austin Theory, if they bring in Austin Theory.
I think they should and will bring in Austin Theory. For me, I don't want to see it just purely because I want to see Jey Uso rather just be the tribal chief. I want it to be a thing about the Bloodline family again, rather than actually having this faction there. But at the same time, it's something that could happen. But I think if anyone is going to, I know NXT hates this idea, but certainly going to bring it up. But I think if anyone is going to lead the Vision now, that it's not Seth Rollins until Braun are ready, they will make it Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I'd hate the idea, but yeah, it's just one of them things that just kind of makes sense, even though no one wants it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray asks, what do you think of what Becky Lynch said to Paul Heyman on Raw? Penguin-faced prick. Take it away.
Quality. Best promo Becky's ever cut. I texted you as soon as I saw it, and I was like, honestly, the best thing Becky's ever cut ever. Penguin-faced prick. And the way she said it as well, such a British way of saying it. I had a lot of respect. Yeah. Like, I felt that one in the chest, man. Like, I just felt it like that's how someone from the UK says it, and I loved it.
Yeah, I must admit I felt it in my core as well. It was a wonderful, wonderful moment, and the fact as well that she said to Heyman as well, like, Seth hasn't really. He's not gonna. He's not gonna kill you. He's going to kill everyone around you when he comes back because you mean nothing to him. He knew this was coming. He knew he was going to turn on him. Actually, thought it was going to happen sooner. Wonder why it took so long. But when he comes back, he's going to get revenge on everyone around you. It's just going to make you wish that he took you out as well. I thought it was such a powerful backstage promo. I really enjoyed it. Makes me believe that Seth is, well, obviously Seth is injured. He's vacated the championship. I believe that now, where I didn't a week ago. Sorry, Seth. You've got history. But obviously at the same time, now it genuinely makes me believe that maybe Seth has been cut from the vision and all the direction for WrestleMania plans are about to change. And do you know what? It feels a little bit exciting.
Yeah, it does. Because I think there's an era of unpredictability, whereas I wasn't overly sold on. Like, I think the plan was Seth versus Roman for Mania, and I'm like, do I want to see Seth versus Roman again? Seth Punk is the match that I want to see. Aside from like what the first Raw on Netflix, it's the one I want. It's a match that needs the title, and it needs to be in the main event of WrestleMania. The history these two have, even outside of the business, in terms of you go back over the years and all the promos that Seth has cut on Punk. It is a main event for WrestleMania. And I'm kind of like, now the fact that Seth is out for an unforeseen amount of time, if it is real, like obviously there still is like that tiniest bit there, it may just be a storyline or whatever. The unpredictability is there, and I think it just makes it a little bit more exciting because I wasn't sold on Roman versus Seth, but I think now anything can happen.
Absolutely. To be fair, I want to see Roman versus Seth one more time. I want to see Seth versus Punk one more time. That could be the next two WrestleManias for me. But you know what? I also want to see Seth versus Braun Breaker now. So sign me up for all of it. Or could we even get a Shield reunion? Maybe we could get Seth and Roman going against World Tag Team Champions Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. CD thinks they'll be going after those World Tag Team Championships. I agree with this comment 100%, and I do see them taking the titles from the new champions AJ Lee.
Yeah, and that's what again, I'll go back to the video we've just done about fantasy booking AJ Styles' retirement year. I kind of have that worked out, but you need to see the video.
Yeah, needs to be working there. CD then responding to my comments. So we won't get a new world champion until December's Saturday Night Main Event. Potentially. Can you imagine John Cena's last match, and there is a potential of getting a brand new world heavyweight champion as well? Could be a possibility, but I wonder if they'll just wait until the Royal Rumble to do so. Let Cena have his moment in December, not take any shine away.
Yeah, I think it'd be a case of Braun and Bronson should just honestly stop every match. Like, even if it's a no DQ, Hell in a Cell, Rage in a Cage, Slam in a Van, whatever, they should honestly just go above and beyond and stop anyone from winning that title until Pierce just finally goes, that's it, it's on the line in the Rumble. And in that way, you've at least got the potential to do a draft swap, bring someone over from SmackDown and win that title. Do you know, so like, for instance, a Sammy, whoever.
Absolutely indeed. Would love to see it. Ray says, was you surprised that Sting showed up to help Darby Allin at AEW Wrestle Dream? Yes, but I did see someone comment and predict it. I don't remember where. I don't remember who, because I didn't get time to do one in the end. I wanted to do a predictions video for this and just didn't get around to it. But I did see someone suggest it somewhere. So it wasn't a complete shock because I thought, oh, that'd be fun. And then it actually happened.
Yeah, look, man, it's kind of like, I like seeing Sting. Sting is like one of my favorites of all time. But at some point, I feel you just have to let Darby Allin beat Darby Allin. And it just feels like you're constantly swaddling him and babying him and protecting him. And it's kind of like, when's Darby going to win the big one? Is he just going to live in Sting's shadow for the rest of his life? I mean, I haven't seen the match either, so I don't really know the full context of the return, apart from him sort of passing off the bat as like some sort of symbolism or whatever it's supposed to mean. But yeah, they need to stop doing it. Like I said, I think you are just essentially swaddling Darby Allin at this point.
You are indeed. Something I want to suggest, because Jon Moxley quit that match. He quit when he lost the World Championship as well to Hangman Page earlier this year. He quit when they had a Texas Death Match before as well. And I feel like Moxley's starting to get a bit of history or a bit of a reputation of quitting. I wonder if the Death Riders should quit on Jon Moxley soon, because he's gone soft. This isn't the guy that was going to take over AEW, was going to, got this posse behind him. I wonder if as well, and this is just me talking, I'm bored of John Moxley right now in the current role he's in AEW. It's so repetitive. Very it's a bit dull for me if I'm being brutally honest. I'd like to see him shake it up. The only way I would actually change it and delay it is if they're going to do blood and guts with a collaboration. I know the women are doing blood and guts, but it doesn't mean the men won't do one either. And if they did that and then say Moxley was the reason Death Riders lost that as well. But I am wondering if because the group's heavy. You know, you got Pac in there, you got Claudio Castagnoli, Willie Yuta, Marina Shafir, Daniel Garcia. Still a lot of heavyweights in that to carry that group going.
But there is no new John Moxley in that group. That's the problem. Like, if you're going to kick John Moxley out, you need someone to come in and replace him. I don't know who that person would possibly be. Like, off the top of my head, a Jay White, someone like that. You need someone who is an established character that needs to replace him, but they also need to have a certain level. Like, Moxley is like he's your headliner, and there isn't exactly anyone else in the Death Riders that screams your main event in pay-per-views week in, week out, your main event in TV shows week in, week out. You need someone else like that. I said someone like a Jay White, who's obviously previously been a big star in New Japan. I think he's been underutilized since coming to AEW. I'm not saying it should be him, but you know what I mean. Someone of that caliber that can come in and replace Moxley. It's just a hard one to call. Like I said, I think without Moxley, I think the group suffers madly.
I think it would eventually lose its main event status, but I think, to be honest, the group needs to come away from that main event scene anyway. My personal opinion, and I know that he's possibly a bit injury prone, but certainly has got the potential to carry what the Death Riders is all about. Pac. I think Pac has come back. The bastard is got a new look. He's great in ring. I think he could be pushed and believable as someone that goes towards the top of that card. And he's got the viciousness of what actually works. But yeah, the injury prone thing is what holds him back, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed. No, I love the idea of Pac being that top guy star. Like, he's obviously a day oneer as well. He's been there since the beginning, and I don't ever feel he's ever really done everything. He's had like a couple of mid-card title runs, a trios run with the Lucha Bros. He's just not really ever done anything, and whether it be a case of injuries or visa problems, he just feels like he's just a guy on the roster now. Don't get me wrong, I think if given the right promo, sure, he could probably be elevated to a main event stage, but like I said, at the minute, I don't think he's someone who I could genuinely see going into a world title picture.
Not at this particular moment, no, maybe not. But I'd like to say, with the right booking, with the right push, I think there is that potential there for Pac.
100%. Yeah.
See, this says I would laugh so hard if Seth Rollins vacated the World Heavyweight Championship just to win it back, lol.
It would be funny. Comes out number 30 at the Rumble and wins it.
It would be hilarious. Brock Lesnar is part-time. That's why I don't see him why they would make him the new leader of the Vision. I think more an ally of the Vision at this point.
He's the enforcer.
Yeah. Well, an ally. He comes and does the dirty work. For War Games, he's perfect.
Yeah. I just seeing Brock in a War Games match is, one, terrifying, and two, I just feel sorry for the other four guys, because I feel it'd just be a batter. Like, you got Bron Breakker in there, who's, do you know what I mean? This big guy, Bronson. Like, if you, for instance, put in like four Montez Fords against like Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, and Brock Lesnar, you're like, it's just game over.
Has that feeling, doesn't it? We've got Millennial Noob in house. Well, thank you, Noob, for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Says so. Kabuki has just written off Rhea Ripley and Io Sky so they can get a shot at the women's tag team titles after losing to Rhea and Io at Perth of all places. Makes zero sense. I mean, if you can't win a match, I guess you get the revenge in some way or fashion. Obviously, they took Io out on Raw. Rhea Ripley's now got a broken nose, has taken off. They're taking all the credit. Wins and losses don't really matter in WWE, so they could go for those women's tag team titles. And look, if we're going to build to War Games like we predict all these women would be in, Alexa and Charlotte make a lot of sense to be two more people that would be in the War Games match as well. This is a way to get that crossover and make it happen as well. Maybe get SmackDown some involvement. So I'm all for it, but I do agree. Maybe they should have won a crown jewel. That would have made things make more sense. But still, I wonder if Rhea Ripley will be back actually in time for War Games after the broken nose.
I mean, I wouldn't be against her not being in it. Like I said, I think I said that the decision for her to win was wrong. I think it was a poorly booked match. It was all booked in the eyes of just making Rhea Ripley look like a superstar, and you've like, I'm not being funny, you've got three of the best wrestlers in the world in that ring as well. And yes, right, Rhea Ripley is a superstar, but like you've not done nothing to help elevate the other three. So I wouldn't mind her not being in it. Just a case of, look, let's give someone else an opportunity to have some spotlight.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. Wouldn't be against it either. CD says Seth Rollins faked an injury just to get a real injury. I guess that was karma for WWE. Kind of was, yeah. Isn't it interesting as well that both Money in the Bank winners this year had to vacate their championships, both Seth Rollins and Naomi?
Hell, let's be honest. Naomi's was a fortuitous piece of timing, so I'm not really going to critique her for that one. But yeah, look, just proves Money in the Bank meant diddly squat this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Eric believes that Pat can lead. Come on, Eric. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. He also asked, do you think the Hardys and the Inspiration will re-sign with TNA? I'm going to say yes. I mean, the champions right now, they'll have to drop those titles pretty darn quickly, if not. But I'm going to say they will, yeah.
I think the Inspiration will. The Hardys, I mean, I think they will sign a contract extension, but I can't see them doing a multi-year deal. I think they could, maybe a 1-year deal. I think the Inspiration could probably do a year or two, but the Hardys 6 months to a year, I think, especially while they're like holding the NXT and the TNA Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, it just seems mad that they would go at this point when they hold all the gold. So yeah, it's in the interest of TNA to keep hold of them. I think whether it's 6 months, whether it's a year, whether it's 4 or 5 years, I think yeah, they're going to re-sign. Ray says, when do you think AJ Lee will wrestle next? One of the big fours. I'm going to go Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. I think when Becky Lynch is wrapped up with Maxine Dupree, I think that's when AJ Lee comes in next for the next title shot and could just win that IC title from Becky as well. As you said, Wayne, you put me on the spot. I'll say Survivor Series San Diego.
Yeah, the problem is Becky's kind of turned face again now after everything that's happened to Seth, and you kind of like, how do you book her to lose the IC title to AJ Lee? Don't get me wrong, I know what she's doing to Maxine Dupree, but Maxine Dupree isn't exactly the most lovable baby face that makes you want to hate Becky Lynch, and I think that's the ultimate problem with the character work. I would have said Survivor Series, but again, it depends how this whole vision sort of dynamic works out. And look, we just said penguin face prick, and it's kind of like, look, that's automatically made me love Becky Lynch again. It's in my eyes, she's a face, and I'm like, how am I supposed to boo her?
If she started saying that she was like one of the best female wrestler of all time, and she's not the only one that said it, Bleacher Report said it, and Sports Illustrated said it, will that start getting back on the bandwagon for the heat?
Not really. I mean, it's all factual. Like, I think it's just more the character. If she goes back to being that insufferable douchebag kind of character that just like constantly whinges and moans and whatever, maybe, but she's too much of a fate. Like, this whole Seth thing has honestly just proper thrown WWE out in terms of storylines.
Have to see what will happen. I think we'll get back around to it. Do you know what? We probably need Seth back just to make things work. But AJ Lee has beaten Becky Lynch, so she can go back when she wants. So let's stick with Survivor Series, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was in Saudi either for the Rumble. CD says, First Class will win those TNA Tag Team Championships at Genesis. That's the perfect time to give it to them. Yeah, I mean, Hardy Boys, if not yet, is the right time to drop those titles. So I would agree that perhaps maybe a bit further down the line, I'd like to see mainly for CD. I want to see First Class win those tag team titles, but I think Genesis could be
First Class train for ages, and they just can't get it done.
We will be there for you when it happens, my friend. It's going to happen one day for sure. John Moxley in AEW is like Kurt Angle in TNA. Absolutely a big name that certainly adds eyes to the prize. There is no arguments there. Ray asking, who do you think will be Mike Santana's first opponent for the TNA world title? Of course, he won it at Bound for Glory, defeating NXT's Trick Williams. Is it time then to go against someone from TNA's roster? Could it be someone from NXT? Let's not forget Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian were both tempted to cash in the Julie Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy at the same time.
if it's not Kazarian or Nemeth, someone like Josh Briggs or someone I think will be like his first opponent. Someone who is starting to get more of a credible run in NXT that wouldn't lose much taking a loss to someone like the TNA World Champion.
They've probably done taping, so it's probably already out there by now. But I'm going to say Joe Hendry, just because I don't think he's staying past the end of the year. I think he's WWE bound, so you need to do that match on one of the next two shows, whether it's Final Resolution, and I forget the one that's between. I think it's No Surrender. You need to get the match happen so that Mike Santana can solidify himself as the face of the company. So I will say Joe Hendry because I think purely he's going to be out the door very, very soon. And I think we save Kazarian and Nemeth for the freeway at the Genesis show in January.
Yeah, I agree with that.
CD says Pac was the first ever double champion in AEW, holding the All Atlantic and Trios championships at the same time. But yeah, he should have been a world champion by now if he wouldn't keep getting injured. CD says, I realized the fact too, both Money in the Bank winners vacated the titles and both champions had potentials to have great title reigns. Absolutely agreed with that. Ray says, Natalia done an interview with Chris Van Vliet. She was talking about her book. I can't wait to read it. I haven't had a chance to check that interview out as of yet, but I must admit that is one on my to-watch list. I'm quite intrigued with that one.
Yeah, Natalia obviously. It's interesting to see like her mentality and where she stands with the business today, and obviously being like that sort of previous generation superstar. So yeah, it'd be worth a good checking out that one.
Absolutely, indeed. CD says, I don't see WWE ever trying to have Seth Rollins be the guy again. Sure, he'll be a main eventer, but you can't make the main focus point because he sadly always gets injured at the highest moments. It happened in 2015 and in 2025.
I think you can just tell that his physical capabilities are starting to catch up with him. Like, he either needs to change his in-ring style and stop doing some of this stuff and almost evolve and maybe, I don't know, discover a new version or a new character gimmick for himself in that as well. And don't get me wrong, he probably will be a main eventer, but he probably won't be the guy. Like, there's people like Bron Breakker who are probably going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I feel that Seth, unfortunately, it is unfortunate, but it has happened in some of the biggest moments. Do I think he'll get more WrestleMania main events? Yeah, I do. I think there's two of them left there. We mentioned CM Punk, we mentioned Roman Reigns. They are there. Bron Breakker, I think, is not a main event at WrestleMania at this time, but I still think it'll be a big WrestleMania match. But Seth will still get the big moments, like you mentioned. But I agree, he's not going to be the guy. Unfortunately, he's just the next level down. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah, no, I can see it. Like, I think the rumor is as well that they want to make Bron a big main eventer by like 2027. So we're like 2 years away from that. So you can imagine main event WrestleMania 44 at that point. Bron's probably going to be sniffing around, or if not in that main event.
Wouldn't be surprised if he or Bronson Reed were Money in the Bank winner next year. Eric Douglas says, speaking of women's war games, I would love Zaruka to join the heel team. Interesting prospect of them as heels. But yeah, they have been going to get Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
I think Soul's injured because apparently there's an announcement on NXT tonight. I don't know, there's supposed to be like a health update. So she might be out for the foreseeable future.
That would be annoying. She has 2 titles, and of course, she has a match that's due with Blake Monroe at Halloween Havoc, which Eric has asked if there will be a preview for that.
I hope so.
Would you be up for doing towards the end of this stream a quick roundup of NXT? For those that are with us, you get to watch it tonight. You haven't got to wait for it, and we'll clip it and we'll put it out tomorrow as the video.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love Halloween Havoc. It's just, do we actually have a card for it? I think is the biggest problem.
We have 4 or 5 matches.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We can breeze through something. CD says, where is AJ Lee? I thought she signed a full-time contract. Yeah,
Legends contract.
Oh. There you are.
She's a legend now, isn't it? It's all she's missing is the Hall of Fame induction. Yeah, she's going to be doing like minimal dates, 10, 12 a year.
There you are. She'll definitely be in the Rumble for sure.
10, 12 matches, yeah.
There you are. I'll be down for that. I'm fine with that. Just as long as we get Roxanne Perez, I'll be happy with that. Eric says Santana versus Obafemi at Genesis or final resolution. Yeah, why not?
I don't want Obafemi to take a loss. I want him to come up to the main roster now.
To be fair, I don't want either of these two to take a loss. So maybe not, Eric. It's a match I want to see, but actually thinking about it with the result wise, maybe not yet. Not
And
yet.
dark state finish. That's a dark state finish match.
Oh, do you know what? There is it gives you. They do get the heel heat, I suppose they want, but I mean, it's go away hate for me. It's a group that just doesn't work. It needs a leader. It needs something more than just interrupting stuff for
They
fun.
need a direction because they just don't make sense after they just
No,
just shut when they want.
just
Reminds me of Retribution.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. At least they had Mustafa Ali back in the day.
Just get Order 4 on them. That will do, and they can actually bring up Retribution. That's something like TNA book it. I want to see that. I actually think that'd be quite fun. Fun fact: Frankie Kazarian and Mike Shane were TNA X Division champions, so this is nothing new to Frankie Kazarian. Nice to know Kazarian's willing to share.
Yeah, just, the point is though, is apparently you can't cash it in though unless you have the trophy. Apparently, that's the rule. What's he gonna do? Cut the trophy in half? I don't know. It's a weird stipulation.
They need to carry it at the same time. They either need to go for the tag team titles or they need to go for the world title at the same time. It's as simple as that. So they've got to learn to coexist because they're stuck with one another. Unless they have a match to determine who is the rightful person who holds that trophy.
That's such a cop out. I'd just rather them both cash in at the same time or something.
Same if I'm honest. Thoughts on Maxine Dupree, her development, starting to really grow on Eric.
Yeah, she just needs to lose the Alpha Academy gimmick. I think you just need to give her a character, to be honest with you. I think she's just been stuck in that one sort of like situation since she came up. Like, what was she? She was part of oh my god, what was their name when she come up with
Maximum Male Models, wasn't it?
Maximum Male Models. There we go. Yeah. I was trying to think of the name there. Yeah, she's just been a goofball, and like, if she wants to be a serious wrestler, I think she just needs a character change.
Yeah, and I agree with that. There was a big, probably people watching. Why was he smiling when I read that? I read that comment and smiled because you give me the perfect segue, Eric. You don't even know what you've done. You give me the perfect segue. So I wanted to make a short, and I don't know if I'm going to have the time to sit and make the short. So again, well done, you're here. If the ones that watch this, you get to watch this hopefully live, and hopefully this comes out well enough that I can clip it. If not, I will have to find time to redo it. But still, anyway, NXT Steve, I will take the floor for the minute, and then I will come to you for your opinion at the end of it. Because who should join the Secret Service? Chelsea Green is on the recruit mission after we've seen Piper Niven being taken out. And of course, now we don't know when she's going to return. She's got a bad injury, may not return, but we need to know who is going to be joining the Secret Service. So far, people on Nia Jax have been turned down. So I have got 5 people who I think could be great recruitments for the Secret Service. I've got 1 from Raw, I've got 1 from SmackDown, I've got 3 from NXT. My first one is from Monday Night Raw, Maxine Dupree, because she needs to ditch the Alpha Academy at this point. She's getting better in ring. She's actually getting over the crowd as well. And in real life, she's really good friends with Chelsea Green. So I think they got great chemistry. If they've got great chemistry off camera, they can have great chemistry on camera. It would be great to see them work together. And I do think as well, the fact she's played with the Maximum Male Models gimmick. She's done the Alpha Academy. She's willing to dress up in a suit and work along with the Secret Service. I think she'd be quite fun for that gimmick. Number 2, Ariana Grace from NXT. Those two, character-wise, would be a perfect match together. Grace and Chelsea Green would be electric. And we've seen them before on NXT TV, and honestly, when I saw it, I wanted to see more. I do think the Miss NXT gimmick we've got going with Ariana Grace isn't quite connecting for me. I think she needs something different. I think to be in the background of a group that gets Chelsea Green over as the main focal point at this moment would be a great way to call Ariana Grace up to the main roster. And I do think as well she's got the charm that would make that work so well for the Secret Service. Option number 3, Nikita Lyons. Where has she been? She's not been on the TV for a long time. It would be great to see her come back to WWE TV. She's been a part of NXT for years now. Arguably has suffered an injury or 2, which has kept her away, but if she was to come back in, she could be the muscle for the group. And I think as well, she could be quite quirky. She's quite a bit out there and fun. And I think she'd work quite well in amongst the Secret Service. Option number 4 for me, again from NXT, Ren Sinclair. Great character work. She is so fun to watch on Instagram. She's been a part of the No Quarter Catch crew. She's arguably the personality of the group for the last 12 months. People now are breaking away from the group. We're seeing Tavion Heights. We're seeing Miles Bourne go off and do their separate thing. Right now, Charlie Dempsey is doing his thing in Japan, leaving Ren Sinclair all alone, which means at the moment she either can form new members without Charlie Dempsey's permission, or this is her way to escape from the group as well and go to SmackDown. I think she'd be a lot of fun being a part of the Secret Service. And option number 5 for me, kind of a bit ruined on SmackDown last week. I've gone for Candice LeRae, just purely because she's not been doing nothing. She wasn't on TV for months. She was a follower for Nia Jax. I think she's a great in-ring talent, a great in-ring worker, kind of like Alba Fire is as well. And I think it would give us something to do in-ring. I don't want to just see him being the manager of DIY. But still, I think it could be fun. I think it's something that could work. To give my answer of who I think would be the best person who I think should join right now, honestly, I think Ren Sinclair is my personal favorite. I just love the facials. I love the in-ring work. She was trusted so well when they did the Iron Survivor Challenge last year. 25 minutes shown she's great in-ring talent. I think she's got great personality. I just think she could be the gem that Chelsea Green needs right now. But what is your selection? Who should join the Secret Service? Who should be the next Slagent? Let us know right now in the comments below. NX Steve, I'm passing over to you. Do you like any of those 5 suggestions?
The one that genuinely makes the most sense, I think, is Nikita Lyons. She is essentially a one-for-one replacement of Piper Niven's, a powerhouse, which is what they need. The rest of them, in terms of character, a lot of them make sense. I think Maxine Dupree, I kind of feel like should be almost on the same level as Chelsea Green in terms of character, that kind of self-entitled kind of dynamic, which is kind of why I'd rule her out. Everyone else sounds like a great shout. Candice, possibly. But I think, again, it just needs to fit. Do you know what I'd actually say as well is, I know they had this whole thing going, but I think it would actually do wonders for this person, is Michin. I think Michin as a powerhouse, or I tell you who as well, Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark comes back from injury. That's a great spot to put Zoe Stark in. Get her back in some tag team action and some in-ring stuff. Don't force her to over-compete as a single star. Michin or Zoe Stark, I'd say, just because I think Michin has done nothing since the one run against Chelsea Green when she was United States champion. By the way, greatest United States champion ever. But yeah, I think Michin, if you repackaged her as the same as Alba Fire, I think that'd be a great replacement for her as well, for Piper Niven.
I love both suggestions. Michin hasn't been doing too much right now. I'm not really feeling the tag team would be fab, if I'm being brutally honest. So for that reason, I would be down for it. So we started with someone I looked at to put in the video when I had the idea. But then I don't know how long her injury is. I don't know how long she's out for. And, for context, if she's out for, say, another 6 to 9 months, they need to conclude the storyline earlier. But if she comes back, she would be the ready-made person to fit in that slot, in my personal opinion, of everyone that's been mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yes, I mean, Zoe Stark is, I really want Zoe Stark to succeed. She's so good in ring. In fact, Zoe Stark makes perfect sense. Do you want to I'll tell you why. Chelsea Green's first run in WWE, what was it plagued by? Injuries. Ended up costing her job with WWE. She got released. She come back. She's been a phenomenal superstar. What has Zoe Stark suffered with? Injuries. These two are almost on a same career trajectory, and I would love put these two together, have Chelsea Green mentor Zoe Stark, and get her away from the characters that she's portrayed previously when she's been with Shayna Baszler. Stop being so serious and overly aggressive. Give her time to just get her feet back in the ring, get rid of the ring rust, be more consistent, and then you can go from there and build with a character.
Certainly can. Yeah, certainly can indeed. Very well, good points made there. The comments have got involved with this. I really like this. The comments have well got involved with this topic. CD says, Nikita Lyons sounds good to me. Noob says, Ariana Grace would be a great addition for SmackDown. CD says, only problem with Michin is she has history with Chelsea Green. She would have they would have both put a lot to side on that one there. Possibly my favorite comment of all time, Eric Douglas, the return of Matt Cardona to join.
Wouldn't be against it.
No,
In fact, I'll
would
tell
love
you
it.
what, just before you carry on, you can get around the Michin one with if you could do a match and just simply say, if you lose the match, you have to work for me. You have to be one of my muscle agents. It's a cop out of a get round, but it's a way you get Michin back in that position.
I love it. I think that's a great way to get around it. Like you say, even if it seems a cop out, it's still a certain great way to go.
Yeah.
Ethan Page, I'd love to see in the role as well. By the way, the fact that they work so well on NXT together as
Hey,
well.
that just needs to be a faction, period, because those two on NXT were one of the best things this year.
Certainly were indeed. Fun fact, not so funny if Piper Niven has to retire, but if she wants to retire due to injury, then her last match, she defeated Charlotte Flair. That's a big deal, and you have to agree with that.
Yep, that is.
Certainly amazing indeed. Thanks everyone getting involved in that. If that can clip really well, you'll see that as a short coming out very, very soon. So Noob carries on with Women's War Games. So who's going to be the Women's War Games match? Kabuki Warriors, Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez for the heels. Could they be facing, I'm guessing, Rio? I like that. It took me a second to get it there because I was thinking AEW, but no, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Stephanie McCur, Bailey, and Lyra. I mean, it's a little. Oh, Julia was mentioned in the mix there as well. I mean, that would be quite a good little lineup, to be fair. Would it be against all of that?
You're missing not Kalani Jordan. Who is the manager for Julia at the minute?
Kiana James.
Kiana James in that first team makes sense because she's the pinfall. She's the person like costing that team the loss. That would make more sense than Roxanne Perez. But yeah, that's what I'd throw out there.
I mean, if you're going to put this lineup together like this at this point, Nikki Bella has to be in there because it's Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer against Judgment Day of this past week. So I do feel we've got a bit of chopping and changing, but
what an underwhelming. She's brand new world champion and you got to tag it with Nikki Bella. What has Stephanie Vaquer got to do to get a decent storyline?
So, I mean, all right, decent storyline. This isn't necessarily going to make it a decent storyline, but if you listen to Nikki Bella on Raw this past week, she said, I can't remember actually what she said. That's not really helpful here, but she hinted that you never know who's going to turn on you. And I want to give you that a bit of advice because I never got that. There you are. That's what she said to her. So she's pretty much telling her she's going to stab her in the back. We are going to get Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Championship at some point. I would not be surprised if that's the Royal Rumble match.
I don't care. I don't want it. It sounds crap. I don't care. Nikki Bella should not be in world title pictures. She is a tag team wrestler. Bring her sister back, stick the tag team titles on them, and then let them retire. Why? Oh, wow, she's this Hall of Famer. So? Don't care. There is a plethora of up-and-coming stars that could be challenging for that title that would have a hell of a match with Stephanie Vaquer. But no. We want to put Nikki Bella in the title scene.
I will play devil's advocate. I agree. I understand you don't care. Look, it's not my first personal choice of match either, but name value. Stephanie Vaquer is still new to an upcoming audience in WWE. She's still finding her feet. She's doing very, very well. Nikki Bella is someone that outside eyes will come in to watch the product because she puts in the work and she helped get more sales for Clash in Paris. She single-handedly did a media tour to help Clash in Paris. Okay, when she got there, it didn't quite go to plan, but still, I do feel like that's why she's going to be rewarded and given these sort of opportunities because she's someone that can use her Bella army, I went there, to help influence and bring people in to watch and see Stephanie Vaquer defeat her and hopefully become fans of Stephanie Vaquer in the process and therefore helps continue to build the WWE product and build the brand of the talent and also hopefully the show moving forward.
Stephanie Vaquer doesn't need Nikki Bella to become a big star. Stephanie Vaquer already is a big star, and that's just off of her wrestling from NXT. If you gave her screen time and allowed her to wrestle, we wouldn't have this problem. Instead, you kept her off TV for a bloody month before you end up putting her in a world title match. It's their own fault. She came into NXT. She was a massive heel in the Indies. But guess what? Her wrestling got her over. So what did WWE do? Oh, we just went over on TV for a month. Idiots.
They need some AI to work that creative. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
CD says, imagine AJ Styles and Dragon Lee would be tag team champions at the beginning of 2025.
Hey,
It certainly was not on my bingo card. I'll tell you that much.
great for Dragon Lee, if honest with you. The fact that Dragon Lee is getting a championship run and some on-screen time, like that guy has been screwed over so many times in the past, especially as part of the LWO. Like, he was kept out of matches that he should have been in for other people. Like, that guy is so good and he should be in championship scenes. Like, genuinely, we need a cruiserweight title just to see him wrestle.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Do you know what? Dragon Lee in the second half of the year has been booked exceptionally well, but yet he still goes under the radar. People do not talk enough about Dragon Lee. Maybe this moment now that he has become a world tag team champion along with AJ Styles, people will start to notice and recognize. And yeah, this is a thrown together tag team, but it reminds me back of the SmackDown 6 sort of stuff in 2002 when you had like Edge and Rey Mysterio as a team. It can work with the same dynamic and it can really help to push Dragon Lee to the next level.
I would love to see obviously when they lose those titles, an AJ Dragon Lee match. Like, I would like to see how those two work, because AJ is essentially like a little mini powerhouse now, not so much as a high flyer, but you give him someone like Dragon Lee who is quality, I think they'll make magic.
Certainly would indeed. CD goes on to say Seth Rollins is my favorite wrestler of all time, but even I know he's injury prone. I think AJ Styles and Dragon Lee's moment was supposed to go to Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Remember, Triple H planned months ahead. Apologies. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just replaced Rey Mysterio with AJ Styles. That's a fair point. Absolute fair point.
I prefer it with AJ Styles there, if I'm honest. I think Dragon Lee lives in Rey Mysterio's shadow. At least with AJ Styles, Dragon Lee is his own person, and he's not like an understudy. He's not. How many times have we seen it over the years? Oh, you're the next Rey Mysterio. You're the next Rey Mysterio. Just let him be Dragon Lee.
Yeah, because they've never replaced Rey Mysterio because they've always had a Rey Mysterio, and they've never been able to do it. So, yeah. Perhaps they need to find the first Dragon Lee.
Everyone obviously forgets Sin Cara and Kalisto and Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. Yeah, where are they now?
I know one of them. Lince Dorado is in Triple R. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. I can't tell you where Kalisto is now. Kalisto was great as well when he was at like a 205 champion.
Yeah, he was good fun back in the day. Ray says Natalia said her dad suffered from a brain injury for most of his life. How horrible. That's awful.
Sounds about right, unfortunately.
Yeah, very sad indeed. Eric said, "What happened to Trick leading Dark State? Never happened. I guess either it was a narrative we created, or it's just something that was teased and then never happened."
It was a fantasy booking that never came to fruition. Unfortunately, it was a shame.
Maybe II didn't create it, therefore WWE were reluctant to use it. CD says Dark State was a rip-off of The Shield and Retribution combined. Certainly the latter, but I can see where you're coming from with that, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
CD goes on to say as well, Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian winning the Call Your Shot was like Bret Hart and Lex Luger both winning the Royal Rumble. Both times people didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, you're right. People didn't like it. It led to an interesting WrestleMania, thankfully. Hopefully for Nemeth and Kazarian, they'll have an interesting Genesis.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe a case of they both have to face the champion on the same night. I don't know. The idea is quite interesting that Santana has to go through Nemeth and Kazarian on one show.
It would be, yeah. I mean, the thing is, if they did it WrestleMania 10-esque, it would be singles matches. But of course, triple threat matches become a thing since. So I imagine they'll just do the triple threat. But I would like the idea of the two singles matches. That could be quite fun. Bring back the old coin toss. Maybe have Nick Nemeth go against Ryan Nemeth in the opener. We get Ryan Nemeth as the new star of the future and becomes King of the Ring or Destination X Division champion. Who knows? We can make something work. CD, leave it with us. Not quite. There's some artificial stuff going up here, but it's not intelligence. I can tell you that much. CD says Maxine Dupree has 2 victories over Becky Lynch now. She certainly does indeed, and it's going very well for her right now in WWE.
She won't get the one that matters the most. That's the problem.
That is the problem, unfortunately, but still very pleased for how it has been going, and certainly she's starting to get her flowers, which I think is well deserved. She's improving massively. Aries, thank you for joining us. It says, what are your thoughts on AJ Francis and Rich Swann, aka First Class, turning on Casey Navarro during an episode of Impact in August? AJ Francis, no surprise really. Yeah, I mean, I was more familiar with AJ Francis and Rich Swann as First Class rather than Casey Navarro, so I guess that they brought Casey in. didn't do the justice kayfabe wise. They got rid of him. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Like I said, look, we're all waiting for him to win it just for CD. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. And Casey Navarro can win the titles off of them afterwards with a new tag team partner. Insert in comments below. Ray says, what do you think of WWE serving Andrade a 98 non-compete clause when he returned to AEW? Rumors suggest that could be a lot longer than 90 days.
Yeah. I heard it was 365 days apparently because he breached the 90-day no compete clause. Look, everyone knows. What is it? It's because he got fired apparently as well. That I don't know. I can't remember. I remember reading so many dirt sheet things about it that because he was fired, he didn't think that the 90-day non-compete clause still mattered, but it did. And obviously, he's then appeared for AEW, and now they're like, "Oh well, see you in a year." But I think that's only in the United States. So if AEW go to Europe or Japan or like somewhere outside of the US, I think he can still work for him.
We'll finally get a payoff then for Andrade versus Kenny Omega before 365 days somewhere.
Hopefully. Yeah,
hopefully, fingers
maybe
crossed.
In London, All In or something.
It could be the case, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. CD says, Matt Cardona wearing a suit with Alba Fire would be funny. Book it, Triple H. Absolutely. Chelsea Green, if you're watching, suggest it, please. Fun fact, First Class and Great Hands are the only heel tag teams in TNA right now. TNA need more tag teams. And also, fun fact from Aries, Order 4 and the System are the only heel factions in TNA. I bought the System and turned baby faces. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm casual now with TNA these days.
Don't they technically count as tag teams as well? To be fair.
Technically, you could be right. We're getting double strength in that tag division right now. Ray wants to see Natty Neidhart in WWE. I do as well, but I do worry that character's worked so on in the indies that I think WWE would just bury it.
Yeah, it's kind of, it'd be like, what moment can we use this for and then never see it ever again?
Absolutely. CD asked, do you think Seth Rollins will ever be world champion again? Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think he will.
Bron Breakker's going to have a match with him at some point for it.
I really worry for Ray on this next comment, how you're going to respond. Bring back Brie Bella with the Brie mode free music.
Ban him. Ban him now. Delete the comment, ban them, give them a ban for 365 days. That is an outrageous comment that you want to bring back one of the worst pieces of music ever created. Talking about music, actually, pop quiz for you. What was Jim Johnson's last song ever created in WWE?
Oh, no idea.
You know.
No idea.
Baron Corbin's I Bring the Darkness. What a banger to finish on, by the way. I found it out the other week and I was like, I can see why Jim Johnston wrote that now because it's phenomenal.
I was worried it was going to be Brie mode. But I'll just say, Ray, you're always welcome, my friend. We all have an opinion and you're welcome to have. If you like Brie mode, I'm happy for you. But I'm not a big fan of the song either. But yeah. CD says Dragon Lee got screwed out of WrestleMania twice. Is that right? Yeah, he did. He got screwed twice. He was supposed to be in a match this year, wasn't he? He's originally supposed to take on El Grande Americano, and he didn't. End up being Ray Phoenix. And the year before, he was replaced by Andrade the night before WrestleMania as well. Yeah,
in the multi-man, like, was it? There was a tag team match, wasn't it, when they had the two Philadelphia Eagles NFL players come out and get interfere in the match against Dom and
Santos Escobar.
That's the one, yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful.
Santos is re-signed as well, by the way. So much for that guy getting his, someone obviously went, oh, okay, we'll give you some more money. And he went, yeah, sure, okay, I'll re-sign.
Monster push. I genuinely thought the guy was going to be the next United States champion at one point.
We haven't talked about Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, by the way, because my God, am I excited for that.
Yeah. That is quite a pairing.
Yeah, that, like, remember we talked about many times about that power couple dynamic? That right there is a power couple dynamic because Zelina Vega, my God, is a firecracker. And you put her with Aleister Black, I want to see a world title on Aleister Black within the next 12 months.
It's the possibility that could happen. Just the vignette itself for 30 seconds of watching them on SmackDown past me, I was like, this works. And this works so... Zelina Vega's so refreshed already just in this, just seeing the change for her. It's like we're going to get to see her talk more, which is arguably one of her biggest strengths. She's such a good promo if she's allowed to actually spit fire on the mic. Her and Aleister Black are so creative as well. And just to see them work together, what they can do, I'm really excited for the future for the pair of them.
I caught, what was it? It was an NXT episode that they put up the other week of it was like the go home promo between Zelina and Aleister Black when it was supposed to be Andrade Cien Almas and Black for the NXT Championship. The one where he mocks her and sits down because she's so small, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Their chemistry in that alone was fantastic. So you put them two together, I cannot wait for that. That's exciting.
I bet you had to sleep on the sofa after that one.
Definitely.
Quite likely. CD says, no way, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee reminded me of Edge and Rey Mysterio too. Loving that. Fun fact as well, did you know Dragon Lee is still a part of the LWO, even though he's a World Tag Team Champion with AJ Styles? Absolutely. They just only seem to mention it when it's like AAA now. They don't really mention it on Raw anymore.
Yeah, as I said, I don't even remember. I thought it was just, I forget it. Joaquin Wild and I forget the other guy's name now. They're the only ones I ever see repping LWO merch nowadays.
Yeah, just because Rey Mysterio's not there. When Rey comes back, they'll all be wearing them again. That's probably the reason why. And to be fair, no. What is a great name? The Phenomenal Dragons should be AJ Styles and Dragon Lee's team name. Agree with that 100%. Love it. AJ Lee is good, but too goofy name. Absolutely. I think it's taken. Just there could be a copyright issue with that one. Maybe they should be called CM Punk's wife. Maybe is what they should be called instead.
I like it. Phenomenal Dragons is great though, man. That's just very clever. Like, it's not very often you can do a mishmash of people's characters, but that works great.
Just get Imagine Dragons as the theme song for them as well. They could put a banger for them two together. That would be quite nice. Kalisto works the independent circuit right now under Samurai Del Sol. I remember the name, just didn't know where he was competing, so that's fun. Ashanti Adonis and Casey Navarro would have dethroned First Class. Love that addition. That's the one that does it for me.
Yeah, that's it. Well, like, you know more than me at this point with TNA. Like, I'm sure, like, wherever if that works, it works.
Absolutely. AJ Francis did eliminate Rich Swann in the Call Your Shot, but Roman Reigns eliminated Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose in the 2014 Royal Rumble, and they stayed together. Absolutely. I wonder if Rich Swann is as forgiving as the Shield. Time will tell.
The 2014 Rumble, the one where Roman gets to final two and then gets eliminated. I believe that is, isn't it?
Yeah, because everyone wanted him to win that one against Batista.
That's how you'd have got him over as a big star, and they ended up using Batista instead. Dumbasses. Yeah.
Interesting. Correction. System of baby faces. So Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers are a babyface tag team. There we are. That's true. It's true.
Fair enough.
3 heel tag teams in TNA. CZ says, call your shot is every man for himself. So First Class are still together. They're still together on TNA's website. There you are. The facts are there. Actually, it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano at WrestleMania, but Rey Mysterio got injured, so people thought Dragon Lee would take Rey Mysterio's spot, but Rey Fénix did. There you are. Fair enough.
Don't get me wrong, great for Rey Fénix, but Dragon Lee getting screwed over again.
True. Eric Douglas says Dom is so over. He really is. Maybe he should have won the Battle Royal. Would you have been down for Dom versus CM Punk?
Future world champion. Yeah, 100%. Like, I would love to have seen Dom as world champion. Like, give him all the belts, AAA Championship, IC title, and the World Heavyweight title. Give me 3 belts, Dom. That's what I want.
I think we're actually going to get Dom versus Cena at Survivor Series. I'm starting to feel that that's going to happen for the IC title.
I want it. Yep, I want it.
Imagine if Cena won it and then dropped it in his final match to Gunther.
Wouldn't be a bad shout, to be fair. Although I still want it to be over for me.
Understandable. Ray says, who would you like to see the WWE champion and World Heavyweight champion who has never been champion before? I like this question. This is an interesting one. Well, I think we've got 2 very quick answers, though.
I've already given one. Dominic Mysterio is a future world champion. I think, if anything, I think he's actually he could win the WWE championship. I think if given the right Eddie Guerrero-esque storyline, I think he could be WWE champion, but most certainly a world heavyweight champion. Bron Breakker is easily a future WWE champion as well.
Yeah. Copy paste both answers. Also add in Obafemi. And do you know what? I'm going to throw Bronson Reed in there. I'm really impressed with his recent work. The last 12 months, he won me over.
Hey, Bronson Reed, Ethan Page, LA Knight. There's so many names there that I've got an opportunity to win, especially that World Heavyweight title, because it is the B title, and a lot more people. There's a lot more opportunities for people like Ethan Page and LA Knight to win it.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and I do feel LA Knight should be pasted into that from me. So, yeah, I will say LA Knight is an official answer, and I'll say Bron Breakker is the other answer if I had to pick just two only. See, this is Rich one for Gabe Edge Francis. There you are. Casey, he was for replacing him out with Casey Navarro. So, yeah, he's forgiving. Well, let's hope. Let's hope he's forgiving. We have to hope. And if you two would say who would win this dream match, the Infinity, Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo, with Shane Taylor versus Lee Moriarty, Angelo Gogo, and Trish Adora versus GOA. Of course, that's Bishop Khan and Toa Leona with Ricochet. I'd
go with GOA. I think GOA are on I've got a much higher elevation, like a much higher ceiling at the minute. Andy Gogo, I didn't even realize he still wrestled. Honestly, I thought he was like, I can't remember the last time I seen him in a wrestling ring.
So I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen much of Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo or Carly Bravo. When I first saw that, I was like, I'm going to get lost on this question. But yeah, I mean, GOA certainly is the right answer. Right? The demand are in demand in AEW right now. They're doing good stuff. And I wouldn't be... I mean, they beat the Hurt Syndicate a couple of weeks ago on TV. That's the first time that Hurt Syndicate as a tag team have lost. So yeah, I think GOA have got a bright future ahead of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Hardys need to drop the TNA Tag Team Championships at Turning Point. If they do not resign
on this first class thing again.
There you are. Yeah, could be there. No one's asked this, so I'm going to ask it before we wrap things up. Ilya Dragunov returning to SmackDown, winning the United States Championship against Sami Zayn. First off, thoughts of the return. Second, the fact he won the title.
Great return. Obviously, kind of been in the wings for it, and the fact that Sami was the one that made the decision. I think I stand with a lot of people, and like I would like to have seen Sami go on a bit longer and do a couple more title defenses. Don't get me wrong, it was a bit tedious when you had like the Miz and Carmelo Hayes for 2 weeks fighting out, and then neither of them get a United States Championship title shot, which I think is a bit dumb. So I think they should have at least had like a triple threat with those guys before we did it. But look, I think it's great. It's a great way to elevate Ilya Dragunov to even to the mid card scene. Like, had a killer match, showed what he can do. The Torpedo Moscow, the A-bomb. I think he's over the dropping fist that he does. Yeah, look, I love it, man, and yeah, just can't wait to see him do more. It's just a case of I would have just wanted Sami to do a little bit more, but we are getting to that time of the year where we have to seriously worry about Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble.
He's starting to feel like it's a possibility again that Sami's going to win that Royal Rumble. Sami was doing great things with the United States Championship that needed to be done because it was getting a bit lost with Solo Sikoa politely, and there is unfinished business with Solo Sikoa that they need to do. So that it doesn't have to feature that title, so that's a good thing. Ilya Dragunov just freshens that division up. Now you can have matches with Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, and you have all these Escobar's going to come back in, and all of a sudden this mid card with Ray Phoenix as well. It's going to be an exciting scene to watch. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun little area. And Sami Zayn for me has had a really good run with that title. I would like to see it be longer, but like you said, you just start to feel like it could happen. He could win the Royal Rumble. So yeah, I'm happy to wait and see and let it play out at this point because yeah, it would be something very, very special if Sami Zayn wants to do it and say there was a world title on the line. Maybe, just maybe. That could be something that could be quite interesting. Get Sami back on Raw. Maybe Sami Zayn versus Seth freaking Rollins for WrestleMania at Vegas, and it's done as a full circle a year after they started their story.
Doesn't Sami have history with Bron Breakker as well?
He does. We lost the IC title to him at SummerSlam.
Sami versus Bron at WrestleMania.
It's all there. It's all there. Yeah. Fun fact as well from CD, John Cena, Sami Zayn, both lost the United States Championship in October to an open challenger or returning wrestler. Both were, yeah. It's Alberto Del Rio and Ilya Dragunov for the respective opponents. Interesting stuff.
We don't talk about the first one.
Yeah, let's not do that. It was 2015 as well. It's, yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, we've wrapped up all the question portion of the video. And I think now we have time quickly, if you want to fire through with some NXT predictions, if you'd like to.
Let's go.
The problem is unfortunately, I'm not fully prepped. So I'm going to change the screen over. You can tell this is live. I'm actually saying this as we're doing it as we go along. First off, Halloween Havoc. Favorite matches, favorite moments. Does there any that stand out for you over the years? Just while I get some typing done.
I mean, obviously Eddie Ray is kind of the classic, isn't it? That everyone goes to, but I was always fan of Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes, the weird sort of House of Horrors match that they had, where it started in a spooky house, almost like a theme park ride, and then Lumis ends up chasing Grimes all the way back to Full Sail just to finish the match, which I always thought was a bit weird. And Johnny Gargano's had some great matches over the years, and for me, I think I more commonly associate with NXT now, which is why I look forward to it. I just really wish they would do a lot more of like this matches we never get, like a Boiler Room brawl, a Buried Alive match. Like we always do, like, oh, it's a no DQ match. Oh, it's a ball rope match, just with a different name. And like, I just really wish they would do these really abstract matches. Like, it's an opportunity to just do it. It's that one time a year.
Yeah, completely agree with that. I thought that they've always had some fun stipulations in NXT with Halloween Havoc, and I really enjoyed when they did Io Sky versus Candice LeRae. It was the Tables, Ladders, and Scares match. I thought that was really good in the modern one that they did. Old school ones, you go back to WCW. Like you mentioned, Bray and Eddie's it's up there as a personal best. Also, really, I've got a soft spot for Vader versus Cactus Jack in 1993. They've actually just released that on the WWE or WCW Vault YouTube channel. So that's a possibility to go and watch that show. The reason we didn't do Halloween Havoc as a rewind this year purely was because there wasn't any to go and watch. So this is why we've had to go outside the box, and you all voted for Buried Alive, which we've recorded tonight. It's going to come out in the next week on the channel. So it should be a fun watch for those that haven't seen it. First ever Buried Alive match, Undertaker Mankind. Worth going watching all of it if you haven't had the opportunity to go and see it, so you can see what we think with our review. But I mean, we're pretty much set and ready to go now. Hang on, just get one thing correct here. There is a special stipulation for the Dr. Wagner Ethan Page match, which I'll need to call up for us. But just the last one to write down, and we can start doing our predictions for you now. But in fact, I'm going to start with it. First off, I'll ask, what are your excitement levels for Halloween Havoc this weekend, knowing that our match card will be Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. We've got JCJ versus Tatum Paxi for the NXT Women's Championship. If Sol Ruka is fit, she defends the Women's North American Championship against Blake Monroe. We have the Hardy Boys versus Dark State for the NXT Tag Team Championship, and Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Ethan Page in what I believe is called Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, it's a weird Dawn of the Dead, hard anything goes match or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do we know if the Page Wagner Jr. match is title for title, or is it just for the North American Championship?
Would need to use my good friend Wikipedia for that.
I mean, I think if that one was a title for title, I'd probably say that was my most anticipated match. But I think there's nothing that really stands out where I'm kind of like, I have to see that match. It's kind of just a solid card regardless. Like Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams, without getting into spoiler territory, I think is an easy decision. Same with the Hardys Dark State. There's one or two that may be a bit more sort of 50-50 in terms of a result. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously the interesting one as well is Blake Monroe. Is she actually end up facing Sol Ruka? So we'll find that out tonight though.
Absolutely. So what is your score out of 10 then? Excitement levels then?
Oh, sorry. I'll say a 7. I think it's an opportunity for him to do some crazy matches. I'll say a 7.
Yeah, obviously at the time of recording, we only have one stipulation match. I think that's going to change between now and the show actually taking place. So do look out. There could be a shorts edition of this as well coming later this week. But for those that are watching this has been pre-recorded before NXT has their go home show, so we'll be giving that for you. But my excitement levels 8 out of 10. I like the kind of what we got seeing for us here. Eric Douglas with us in house. He says his excitement level is a 10 because Tatum Paxley, one of his favorites in NXT. So yeah, let's go into it then. We'll start off then with the Hardy Boys versus Dark State for the NXT Tag Team Championship. The one title the Hardy Boys hadn't won, but of course have now beat Dark State for it in a title versus title match at NXT Showdown, which was the TNA versus NXT show that they did on NXT a few weeks ago. I'll kick things off. I'm not going to waste any time. Dark State is not working for me. I think it does a great benefit for WWE to have the Hardy Boys holding those NXT Tag Team Championships. I think the Hardy Boys will retain.
Yeah, I think Hardy's due for a run with these titles in NXT, and not that NXT really needs a Hardy Boy rub, but I think that the name alone brings eyes to the product. So I'm going to say Hardy Boys retain.
Sounds good to me. We're both gone for the Hardy Boys. We've got Dr. Wagner Jr. going against Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship only. It's the only title on the line here. In a Day of the Dead match is what this one is proclaimed of. Pretty much anything goes in this match here. To be honest here, I actually thought Dr. Wagner Jr. at one point was going to be the guy to take the title from Ethan Page. They seem to be really building this up. But I've got a funny feeling Ethan Page is going to sneak the win here. They'll do a rematch on a Worlds Collide show, which will go for the Latin American Championship for Dr. Wagner Jr. And I think then Wagner Jr. will get his win back.
Yeah, I think Ethan Page is retaining personally. Like I said, I think this would have been a bit more interesting if we'd have had title for title. But Ethan Page is just... Honestly, I think he's untouchable at the minute. I think his character work he's doing is fantastic. His in-ring work is fantastic. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ethan Page at the minute, and I don't see why you'd want to take that title off of him. I think it's too soon for a AAA star to be running around with an NXT championship at the minute.
Completely agree, unless it happens to be the former champion, whose name escapes me right now. El Vikingo, I think, is the only one I think would get away with it at this particular moment. Let's move on to the match that Eric Douglas is most excited about. Jacy Jayne versus Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's Championship. Tatum Paxley winning a battle royal, even at the expense of Izzy Dane here to get the opportunity. It's Halloween Havoc. It's the perfect person to be challenging for that title here. Is Tatum Paxley going to get the win?
I don't think so. I think Jacy Jayne is in for another extended run with that championship. I think ultimately we're building to a Jordan Grace or someone who's going to take that title for Jacy Jayne. Who would have thought, dude, that Jacy Jayne would get this kind of a run with that championship? When we... Who was it that when we did Great American Bash predictions? Ed Fries. He was like, nope, Jacy Jayne's never won that. And here we are, like 3-4 months later, Jacy Jayne's still NXT Women's Champion. It makes me die still. But I can't see Tatum winning this, unfortunately. I think this is purely just a spooky bollocks match with a spooky bollocks character.
Yep, I completely agree with you. Ed Fries did say at the time the prospect of Jacy Jayne having a Roman-esque title reign of 1,000 days would make him drink. I think that certainly one more drink will be added to the collection. I think Jacy Jayne's retaining here. Tatum Paxley, I think it will add the dynamic which Lyra Valkyria has been back in NXT recently. I'm enjoying to see what that will do with Tatum, Lyra, and Izzy Dane. I think there'll be a bit of confliction amongst them, which will help Jacy Jayne, along with Fallon Henley and the new recruit of Lainey Reed being a part of the group. And we'll get a strong fatal influence here on the retain.
Yeah, I could probably see it. Sorry, just to add, I think it's probably going to end up in a 6-woman tag team match where you're going to get fatal influence versus Paxley, Valkyria, and Izzy Dane, and essentially there's going to be a fallout with Dane and Valkyria taking whatever, and they're going to lose. It's almost like a foreshadowing with that one.
Seems to be indeed. If Sol Ruka is fit and healthy, which we hope she is, we're going to go on the basis this match is going ahead. We know there's an announcement on NXT at the time of recording. We're not sure what's going to go down, but I'm going to cut to the chase. I think this has been one of the better built matches for this show. Blake Monroe defeating, obviously, Zarya, and of course, being in the crowd on SmackDown for Sol Ruka when they got cost of the Tag Team Championships, of course, against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I think this is one of the title changes that's going to take place on this show. I think Blake Monroe is going to be the one to take the gold from Sol Ruka, and I always thought it would be Zarya.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all thought it was going to be Zarya, but Blake Monroe has come in and has just taken the division by storm and has had a great run in a story with Jordan Grace. But yeah, I think Blake Monroe is just such a character and a persona that she almost needs a title, not even necessarily just to elevate her position on the roster, just to like emphasize the point of how good she is. I think.
Absolutely, indeed. To be honest, really, I think there's an argument Blake Monroe should be going for the top title in the women's division in NXT, but this is not a
Yeah.
bad place for her to be right now. She's not long recently debuted, and I think that she's got a very bright future in
I
NXT and WWE.
I think that Blake Monroe will. She will almost. I can see it on generally having like a year's run with that North American title. Add some proper prestige to it. Like we've had a lot of short reigns with that North American Championship. I think we're about time for a stupidly long one, and I think Blake Monroe is the one to do that.
Certainly could be indeed. She could be doing for the women's mid card title in NXT
Yeah.
what Becky Lynch is doing on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Main event time. Ricky Saints, the brand new NXT champion, defending against a former NXT champion, a former TNA world champion. He just dropped the title, Trick Williams. Now, of course, these two were on the same NXT team for NXT Showdown against TNA. Trick Williams walked out on Ricky Saints, and Ricky Saints ate the pinfall on the night. Ricky Saints wanted to get some revenge on Trick Williams, offered him a NXT championship match. The contract is set to be signed tonight, so providing no hiccups, this match is set here for Halloween Havoc. Who knows? There could be a spooky stipulation added as well, because it seems a little bit calm on the stipulations. Halloween Havoc love a few of those, so let's see what goes down. But this is also the first proper match between these two. How do you see it playing out?
Is this a TV special or a premium live event?
Premium live event.
I'm going to say Trick Williams. I'm going to say Ricky Saints wins then. If this was a TV special, I'd have gone with a screwy finish where Trick wins but Saints retains the title. But I think a Saints retains. This is like first or maybe second title defense as NXT champion. I very much doubt I can see him losing it. Hopefully they bust out the old spin the wheel, make a deal sort of thing tonight where we can just add some stipulations to the rest of these matches.
Certainly would be nice to add a bit of flavour to Halloween Havoc. That's what we used to seeing. It's one of the reasons I like the show so much in the modern day. I'm going to go for Ricky Saints to retain as well here. I think that there'll be, I don't want to say a screwy finish, but I want to say not a clean finish. I think there's room for a series of matches between these two, especially if we're not going to have Obafemi in the mix for the meantime. Perhaps maybe they can redo this at NXT Deadline, of course, the final premium live event of the year, which features one of my favourite matches of all the calendar year, which is the Iron Survivor Challenge. But these two, I think this will be the first of many matches. But I'm going to say Ricky Saints wins on night one. I will say either something screws Trick Williams or it's a cheeky roll-up or something along that line of how Ricky Saints retains here.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there trying to think, even like a case of a distraction from another party, like an Obafemi or something. But I can't think of anyone that particularly comes to mind. So, yeah, I'm going to say Saints wins this one. I don't know. I'm still thinking clean, but yeah, I'm still going with Saints winning either way.
Certainly, indeed. There is room for a sixth match. We are used to sometimes seeing those on these NXT shows. Rumors have suggested, or nothing's announced at the time of recording, but we could be getting a rematch from Bound for Glory, the X Division Championship, Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. Neither are currently booked for this show. Would you be down for seeing it one more time? And if so, would you be down for seeing a winner? And if so, who would that be? Speculation station.
As long as we get a finish to the match, yes. I would still go with Leon Slater to retain. He's their guy. He's their marquee guy at the minute. Like, he is the one that all the hype is about. He is the future of that company at the minute because he's obviously employed by them. Slater needs to win that one. Javon Evans will not be hurt by a loss to Leon Slater because those two can put on a killer match. And if you can take a loss in an absolute classic of a match, it does you no harm. Completely
agree, and I do feel if this match has a clean finish, has a potential to be in that candidates for match of the year. They were on for really good stuff on Bound for Glory until, let's just say, booking got in the way of it. So yeah, I would hope that this is going to be added to the card here because it certainly would be the match I'd be most looking forward to should it be added in the last minute. But that's our predictions there for NXT's Halloween Havoc this weekend. Please let us know your predictions in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you for the next one. But before we leave you from here, we're going back to our comment section here. Got to say, by the way, CD said that's BS. There should have been a winner at Bound for Glory for those two. Completely agree with that. And CD very kindly says this has been a great stream. CD, thank you to you. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to Ray. Thank you to everyone noob that's been involved in these comments as well. Aries, we've had so many people that have been involved here with their questions, comments, and it's been great to have you all on board. So thank you all so much. Without you all, these streams would go, well, it'd go very, very quickly because we probably wouldn't have so much to talk about. So thank you all for being involved. If anyone could please hit that like button. If you're still watching, you haven't already, it really helps the channel a long way. This channel could do a bit of TLC right now. So please do consider hitting the like button, share with a friend, subscribe, all that good stuff. And of course, before I leave, I cannot not thank the man next to me, because the man next to me, he told you at the start of this video, he's not just done one, he's not done two. He doesn't realize it because he's technically done three, but actually we've just recorded a fourth video in the third video, and he's going to be involved in some shots as well that he's not probably going to be prepared. They're going to be released during the week. So NX Steve, thank you for pretty much being not just the right hand man, but pretty much being a cornerstone of what is this channel right now.
Dude, quite happily to be that cornerstone. Yeah, man, like I said, it's been a long night, but hey, it's been fun. It's not like we haven't had a load of fun doing these videos, but I'm going to say it again here just because we're at the end of the video. There is a video coming out where we use AI to fantasy book AJ Styles' retirement year. Check it out, because I tell you what, it's the most fun I've had in a long time doing a video, just because I technically haven't had to do any of the work. Well, I had to give the AI a prompt, but my God, it's fun, man.
It's a lot of fun. And if you get to the end of that video, we ask for your suggestions of potential AI booking if you like that video. And we have what I think is 3 or 4 fun suggestions to give you. And then we want to know yours as well. So feel free to get involved with those. But this has been a fun video. We've been talking about Halloween Havoc. We have talked about CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Who will be the next world champion at Saturday night's main event? Let us know your prediction right now in the comments below. Like I said, one more time, like, share, and subscribe. I've been your host with the most, Steve, along with the main man, NX Steve, in the house. We will see you for the next one. And next time we see you, we might have our good friend AI with us.